Good morning. Welcome to the February 21st, 2017 regular meeting of the Mason County Board of County Commissioners. We'll begin with Pledge of Allegiance. Mike Evans, if you happen to lead us today.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
If the clerk would please take the roll.
Commissioner District 1, Randy Netherland.
I'm here.
Commissioner District 2, Kevin Schutte.
Here.
And Commissioner District 3, Terry Jeffries.
Here.
Very good. Takes us to item number 4.1. If the clerk would please report the correspondence.
This week there is no correspondence to report.
Very good, thank you. And item 4.2, we have a news release, Planning Advisory Commission.
Good morning, Commissioners. Dave Wyndham, Mason County Community Services. Planning Advisory Commission vacancy. Mason County is seeking applicants from Commissioner District 1, which is Grapeville, Harstein Island, Allen, Belfair, and Tahuya areas, and District 2, Union, Potlatch, Hoodsport, Lake Cushman, Little Wap, Matlock, and Camilche areas for the Mason County Advisory Commission. The Planning Advisory Commission is a 7-member citizen board appointed to advise the Board of Commissioners on policy related to amendments to the Comprehensive Plan, Shoreline Master Program, and land use regulations. The Commission typically meets at least once a month on the third Monday at 6 p.m., with special meetings scheduled as necessary. Appointed commissioners normally serve a 4-year term. Applications to serve on the board are being accepted until the positions are filled and should be submitted to the Mason County Commissioners, 411 North 5th, Shelton, Washington, 98584. Forms may be obtained from the Commissioner's office at 427-9670, extension 419, or visit the website at www.co.mason.wa.us.
Very good. Thank you, Dave. Appreciate that. Okay. And item number 4.3, another news release.
Morning, Commissioners. Bart Stepp, Public Works Department. This regards an Eels Hill Transfer Station one-day closure. Mason County Public Works is advising citizens of Mason County that the Eels Hill Transfer Station is scheduled to be closed Monday, February 27, 2017. The closure will allow the county contractor to install a new grizzly crane that is an essential piece of equipment to the county's operation of this facility. We appreciate your patience and understanding during this closure. Residents may consider using the Union Drop Box located at 1391 East McCreevy Road that is open from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. on Monday as an alternative disposal and recycling drop-off. If you have any questions, please contact Public Works at 360-427-9670, Belfair 360-275-4467, or Elma 360-482-5269, extension 450. Thank you.
Thanks, Bart. All right, item number 4.4, we do have a guest with us today from MACECOM, Director Mike Evans, here to make a presentation.
Good morning.
Good morning.
So, those that know me, I'll be brief. I'm here to, one, welcome Commissioner Schutte to our board, and more importantly, or as importantly, and maybe even, and say that I want to thank Commissioner Jeffries for her time here. I will tell you that I was, I don't know if directed is the right term, to not that this wasn't necessary, that I shouldn't do this. However, when she did that, she wasn't technically on my board, so she really wasn't the boss of me at that point. So I came anyway. Briefly, I want to go through, again, I'll try and be brief. During Commissioner Jeffries' time on the board, we went through a colossal change. We upgraded our 911 phone system at the tune of a couple $100,000, which wasn't Mason County tax dollars, which is good. That was quite the change. Hadn't been done in, forever, seems like. The recording system that we record everything on was also upgraded, again, another $50,000, non-Mason County tax dollars. We put up a second county-wide radio system for the fire folks at about $50,000, which we leveraged a bunch of existing equipment, so instead of costing a couple $100,000, we got it done for about $50,000. We started the law enforcement digital radio system That has one part of 4, not to get too technical. She smiles because she's used to technical briefings. Commissioner Schutte, your time is coming. And I've been known to not be brief about those briefings. We also started, get back to the digital law enforcement system, again, grant dollars, not Mason County tax dollars. We started probably the biggest project that we'll do, and that is the computer-aided dispatch and records management system upgrade, which we've been literally working on for years. We're right in the middle of contract negotiation, by the way. And so to put this in perspective, this is about half of all of the systems that we deal with have been upgraded. So we're in the process. That's more than I ever thought we'd do, and in large part to Commissioner Jeffries' leadership. So if you'd come up for a minute, I appreciate that. And I will properly thank you. And again, briefly. Once I get this out of the box. So that thing takes out the clock, so you need that.
Okay.
And what we chose is a clock, so that when you look at the clock and say, "What is my next meeting?" you can go back to my technical briefings and remember that there are worse. So.
Oh my goodness, thank you so much. That is
Beautiful.
just gorgeous. Thank you. And you got
Okay.
my name right. Thank you. I don't know if this group knows, and the public knows, we have the best dispatch director in the state. This gentleman knows his technology as well as law enforcement, and I think we are so fortunate to have you. I bit at you quite a bit about how much you charge the county for
That's
these
okay.
calls. And I've appreciated it, but this man is an absolute treasure for the community and the creativity you have. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
And I happily pass the reins on to you, Commissioner Schutte.
He hasn't gotten his radio briefing yet,
Okay.
so there's peeing coming.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
Carry on.
That's all I had, thanks.
Very good. Thanks, Mike. Appreciate it. Well, I've inherited a few boards and commissions from both Commissioners Jeffries and Netherland, and I'll tell you, every time I go in, tell me what shoes I have to fill. So appreciate all that you guys have done over the past few years on your individual boards and committees, and appreciate everything that now that I have some big shoes to fill. So no pressure.
None.
All right, so that takes us to item number 5 on our agenda. This is our open forum for citizen input. It gives the public an opportunity to address any items or issues that aren't listed on today's agenda. If you'd like to make a comment, please approach the podium and the chair will recognize you. Okay, seeing none, we can move on to item number 6, which is the adoption of our agenda today.
Mr. Chair, I move that we adopt the agenda as presented.
I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded that we adopt today's agenda as presented. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries.
Mr. Chair, I move for approval of the minutes, February 6, 2017 briefing minutes, February 14th, 2017 regular meeting minutes.
I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded that we approve the minutes from February 6, 2017 and February 14th, 2017. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Takes us to item number 8. It's the approval of our action agenda. We will read through the items on our agenda today, and at that point, if a citizen or a commissioner would like an item removed for a separate vote or discussion, they will have an opportunity to do so. Commissioner Netherland, if you would please read items 8.1 through 8.3, Commissioner Jeffries 8.4 and 5, then I'll take 8.6 and 7.
Happily, Commissioner. Item number 8.1, approval of the professional services contract with Bridgeview Consulting, LLC, to complete portions of the county's hazard mitigation plan update. Approval will authorize Ross McDowell to sign the contract on behalf of the county.
Item number 8.2, approval to post a request for proposals, RFP, and public notice for concession stand vendors at Mason County Recreation Area and Sand Hill Parks. Proposals are due Monday, March 6th.
Item 8.3. No, that's right, it's you. Go ahead.
Okay, that's all right.
I heard you stop.
Item number 8.3, approval of the warrants. Claims Clearing Fund warrants number 8046323-804-6577 for the amount of $489,678.61. Direct deposit fund warrants number 38289-38675 for the amount of $692,605.67, and the Salary Clearing Fund warrants number 7002534 through 70025 for the amount of $1,023,290.62 for a grand total of $2,205,574.90. Commissioner Jeffries, you can interrupt that one anytime you want. Just take it on.
I thought you'd appreciate it.
Get down with your bad self.
Item 8.4, approval of Veterans Assistance Fund applications for necessity items totaling $650, utilities $1,019.96, and housing $2,100 for a total of $3,769.96. Item 8.5, approval of the letter of support to the United States Department of Agriculture Rural Utility Service for the Hood Canal Communications application for funding from the Rural Utility Service Community-Oriented Connectivity Broadband Grant Program. Boy, is that a mouthful. The funding will be used to expand broadband services to the Lake Cushman area.
And item 8.6, approval to have the chair sign the contract with Asset Works to begin asset inventory for governmental fund real property. And item number 8.7, approval to sign the interlocal agreement for use of jail facilities with the City of Shelton through December 31st, 2018. Is there any discussion or items for removal?
I'd like to remove 8.6 and postpone, please.
Okay. We can remove item 8.6 and postpone that to a future date. Okay. Any other comments?
Oh, I thought you had your hand up.
No? You gotta be careful with any movement there.
We're going to jump on you.
I do have a comment. I want to thank Chief Hansen for his hard work in working with the city to hammer that thing through and get that thing done. I'm sure both the city and the county both appreciate it being finished off and the professionalism which he showed in doing it.
And I want to thank Hood Canal Communications for stepping up and expanding your service, number one, and mostly giving service to the Lake Cushman community. And boy, wouldn't we all love you to jump over to the Brennan area at some point someday. Those folks up there.
We'll get, that's our goal, to keep expanding the rural areas.
That would be great.
Thanks, Mike. Appreciate you bringing it forward.
So with that, Mr. Chair, I would move that we approve items 8.1 through 8.7 on today's action, and remove item 8.6 on today's action agenda.
I will second.
It's been moved and seconded that we approve items, all the items on today's action agenda with the exception of item 8.6. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All
Aye.
opposed? Okay, motion passes.
I have a question, if you don't mind. When would do you have a specific date when you'd like it returned?
Tim and I are reviewing it this afternoon, so
Next week or?
that'll be next.
Okay, takes us to item number 9 on our agenda today. That's other business is an opportunity for department heads and elected officials to address the commission. Okay, seeing none on that, we do have a selection of a member for the Mason County Planning Advisory Commission. We held interviews on this position last week. I'm really grateful for the applicants that stepped forward and put their names in consideration for this important advisory commission. All 3 commissioners at this point are Planning Committee alumni, and so we know that the work and the time that goes into that. We have another, Christy Buck here, our Port Shelton Commissioner, who's also a Planning Commission alumni. Just a tremendous amount of effort that goes into those meetings to make sure that we get it right. And so we appreciate everybody that stepped forward to put their name into consideration for that position. So at this point, I would entertain a nomination.
Mr. Chair, it was a tough selection. There was some very good candidates, and that's always refreshing, but that means that you have to have a loser or two. But I would like to nominate Mr. Bill Kaiser. Mr. Kaiser presents extensive experience as a chair of a local homeowners association, Fawn Lake, and as a director of, or a general manager of the Carillon Beach Homeowners Association. He has experience in utilities, in the management of those utilities, in the interface of shoreline and residential development and shoreline uses, like the dock they have at Carillon Beach, and then his work at Fawn Lake as the chair of their homeowners association gives him experience and direct application of our development code in the residential setting, and especially in areas of code enforcement and what the interface between homeowners associations and county development regs, how they could maybe serve or not serve each other, and how maybe we can seek better compliance with those partnerships. And then finally, he brings from his professional experience a lot of experience in process improvement, and we all would like to see permit streamlining. And as we move through development regulation changes, I think that experience will serve us well. So I'd like to nominate Mr. Bill Kaiser.
Okay. Okay. Are there any other nominations?
Actually, because I thought it was, liked Aaron, I believe was his name, so I'm a little confused with that, so, yeah, so I guess I will nominate, yeah, let me see if I can find his proper name. What's his proper?
Aaron Cleveland.
Aaron Cleveland. I thought his experience with the roadways and some of that governmental experience and his obvious ability to learn things quickly, and his leadership in the role that he plays now with that committee he's on, I thought was exceptional.
Okay. We have two nominations on the table here, one for Bill Kaiser and one for Aaron Cleveland. I'm going to go ahead and second the nomination for Aaron Cleveland. I thought Mr. Kaiser provided an excellent level of experience that would have benefited the Planning Advisory Commission, but he did have commitments on his application that would take him through at least the springtime. And then given the nature of the work on the Planning Advisory Commission, I believe it's important to fill a position on there sooner rather than later, without any conflict scheduling-wise. So with that, I will second Aaron Cleveland to be appointed to the Mason County Planning Advisory Commission.
They were both exceptional, though. I'll make very clear, our discussion went on for quite a while between the qualifications of both of them.
Yeah, absolutely. So with that, I'll call for a vote. All in favor of appointing Aaron Cleveland to the Planning Advisory Commission, please say aye.
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 All opposed? And motion carries. Item number 10, we don't have any public hearings set for today. So that takes us to item number 11, our board reports and calendars. Commissioner Jeffries, we'll let you get started.
Oh.
Sorry, caught you in the...
Yeah, I'm signing here, yeah. Okay, so last week after our regular commission meeting, we did hold the interviews for the Planning Advisory Committee. Had a wonderful meeting with principals for the company called Telecare Mental Health Services, who are our contractors for crisis mobilization crisis intervention. And they hope to hit the ground running here, opening up services by March 27th. And we're getting them all lined up to meet with our law enforcement folks here in the county so they can develop protocols for accessing mobile crisis response use. I met with the EDC chair on on a number of issues, but most specifically the Shelton Hills project. We had a briefing on Wednesday regarding our, wait a sec, I'm on the wrong week. On our budget. not good news, but it was a good briefing, and I think
That's one way of
these
putting
are
it.
not insurmountable issues. I went to the Economic Development Council annual luncheon, had a briefing, again, the full commission with around the National Association of Counties and with Commissioner Dahlstead from Skagit County. That was very helpful and informative. And then another Planning Advisory Committee interviewed. Agenda planning meeting with the Mason Transit Association, and we had our monthly Thurston Mason Behavioral Health Association meeting. We had an opportunity to hear from one of our contracted insurance, primary care insurance providers, through the Affordable Care Act, and hearing how in 2020, when there's a full integration of primary and behavioral health services, where they see the behavioral health organizations fitting in with their work in full integration of primary and behavioral health. And it sounded promising. They understood that it's different in every county. This particular company serves about 300,000 people statewide. Not sure how many in our county, so I'm not quite sure. We might have a bifurcated agreement between the delivery of behavioral health services, depending on how the other insurance companies feel about playing well with the behavioral health organization. Let's see, had some wonderful activities over the weekend, and then had, following today, we'll have briefings. We'll have more briefings, have Mason Transit Association meeting, and then I will have a retreat this weekend. I'll have a briefing on stormwater, and then I'll be meeting of the Lewis Mason Thurston Area Agency on Aging, and then the Behavioral Health Organization will have a half-day planning session for 2017. And then I hope folks, if they have the opportunity to attend, Faith Acts Play is doing the play Everything I Ever Needed to Know I Learned in Kindergarten over the weekend, and I hope I'll be attending that, and I hope folks will take an opportunity to see live play here in Mason County. And back for briefings on Monday.
Commissioner Netherland?
Okay. We had our PAC interviews. Then we had a great briefing on a bad budget issue. Then we had more PAC interviews, and we had briefings with NACO, Economic Development Council's annual luncheon, audit committee meeting. I got to tell you, I'm proud of those people at the audit committee. I just got to say, every time I sit in that room with them, I realize how well we've done and our hiring and some of the people that we've brought on, including one of them in the room right here. I got to tell you, I'm impressed every time. And when it comes to money, that's hard to do. I've always seen a bunch of other holes, but these folks are on it. I met with Public Works and Grapeview School District to establish and help work with their bus routes in case of any further freezing issues that may occur, but I also enjoyed how our staff put together a very great meeting with them. They made sure everybody was at the table. We had about 8 people on the other side show up to make sure that every question they had got addressed and everything. They also started to show ways that they could work together to save money and utilize some of the same functions that we do for those school districts. Melissa needs a pat on the back. I got to tell you, it was enjoyable again. The ABC group, which is Allen Belfair Community Group that works on economic development, Peninsula Regional Transportation Organization, of which we were both at. I had also some meetings with individual business owners, and I want to let you know that we lost a business up in North Mason. Union River Grill had closed down, so we have a very large restaurant venue available if somebody's looking to come in there. What happened is somebody came in and bought 2 restaurants in Belfair at the same time. They used to own Myrie's in Port Orchard, burnt down, so they came in and bought 2 of them, and basically now they've made it to where there's one big, large restaurant, so all that business for breakfast and all goes to one, but we need both of those restaurants in town, so hopefully somebody will come in and take advantage of that. Coming up this next week, we have our briefings. Mason Transit Authority, wait a second, I still missed some. I had a Mason Transit Authority meeting on the park and ride also, somewhere in there, didn't make it in there. And let's see, we have briefings. We have a regular meeting of the Mason Transit Authority. I have a Lakeland Village Board of Directors meeting I want to attend. We have a Commissioner Retreat, North Mason Chamber Luncheon, Conservative Book Club here in Shelton, Planning Manager interviews with David, LSC webinar briefings. Then we have our briefings on Tuesday, the Belfair Sewer, briefing on the Belfair Sewer, meeting with Green Diamond's property person, a Republican meeting, and that brings us back to our Tuesday evening commission meeting.
Great. For me, two things from last week. We had our first meeting of the year with the Criminal Justice Working Team. It looks like things are going to get rebooted there and fired up for 2017. So there's going to be some work. Primarily, I think the direction of the committee will be focused on some long-term planning for the jail and some of those issues surrounding that. Also, last week I was able to attend the NJROTC Change of Command ceremony at Shelton High School. Fantastic evening. Just a fantastic group of kids who are learning about, not only about the military and that lifestyle, but also discipline and structure and work ethic and just an enthusiasm for going the extra mile for their classmates and their community. So I was happy to be out there and support that. Really fantastic. If you ever have a chance to see their drill team perform, just incredible precision from a group of young kids. This afternoon, we have MTA after our briefings. Tomorrow, our commissioners retreat. Tomorrow, I also have the law library meeting. It's one of the things that comes along with being chair of the commission, as you sit on the county law library. I'll also be meeting with the Squaxin Island Tribe. Have canvassing board. We just had an election here last week, and so we'll be meeting with the canvassing board to finish that up. Friday, I have the sheriff's breakfast. And then that takes us back to next week's briefings. We have a sewer briefing on Monday to get an update on some of those issues and some potential policy fixes. And then our Tuesday evening meeting. So we'll be in Mason County prime time. So that is it for me.
He serves on the canvassing committee also. And it's funny because you sit there and you go over and you look over all the different signatures. You make sure that it's the right person that signed, or that they signed it all, or that the date was correct. And it's funny when you do get one that you disagree on. It is interesting how it goes around. But he represents, he's one of the third. The other third is the auditor.
So see you later this week.
I'll see you Thursday. Yeah,
Fun stuff.
And then Friday. Yep.
Perfect.
Thank you, Shelton voters, for your approval, hopefully, and the certification of the
Yeah.
bond, school bond.
Yeah, thank
And
you
thank
for
you
that.
to the
That's
community, and
wonderful, guys.
Christy, especially for your hard work, and Steve for your hard work to get that. Encourage voters to vote yes.
And extra pat on the back to Commissioner Jeffries. That was the most impressive gift I've ever seen anybody get. You must have done incredible. I've never seen anything like that.
And I needed a clock in my office, so that was beautiful.
Very good. Okay, well, if there's nothing else, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'd move that we adjourn.
I'll second.
We are adjourned.
So